Hello, my dear friends. So, the exam for which you have been preparing for past a lot time is just around the corner. I'm talking about NTA NET in English literature. As it is just about to happen, I have made this video. It's called just in time, a quick glance before the exam. Obviously, it's not possible to cover all the points that are basically important, and we can't. Such is the great scope of the syllabus for NAT in English literature that it is almost impossible to cover all the topics. But still, some writers that came into my mind, and I have tried to put some points for you people. Okay, let me remind you once again that it is just a quick reference. It is not an exhaustive video about a particular writer or a particular work. It is just to give you an idea that these are some writers. For example, the Australian writer we are talking about, Peter Carey. Peter Carey, he is the only Australian to win Booker Prize, the famous, the prestigious Man Booker Prize. He is the only Australian to win it twice. Now this is some information, and he won it for these novels. First he won it for Oscar and Lucinda, and that was in 1988, and then True History of the Carey Gang, which was written and which published in 2001. Now friends, Carey Gang, it is based on the legend, the famous Australian, we can say legend, just like England has its own Robin Hood. Similarly, Australia has Ned Kelly, and the novel is based on the character, the adventures, or the misadventures of Ned Kelly. So, True History of the Carey Gang. Incidentally, other writers who have won the Booker Prize twice, they include J.G. Farrell, J.M. Coetzee, Hilary Mantel, and Margaret Atwood. These four plus Peter Carey, these are only 5 writers who have won Man Booker Prize for 2 times. And I hope you all know from India, we can rather say not exactly from India, Salman Rushdie, he has won another kind of we can say achievement in this case, and you should read about it, how what is the connection between Salman Rushdie and Man Booker Prize. Okay, moving forward, James Gordon Farrell, he wrote the famous The Empire Trilogy. Now this Empire Trilogy, it has 3 novels. First is Troubles, then The Siege of Krishnapur, and the Singapore Grip. Now, what is important about this trilogy? Please remember, please focus on all such works which are considered different type of trilogies. For example, this one, as this particular trilogy, Troubles, Siege of Krishnapur, and the Singapore Grip, they all deal with gradual decline of British Empire. Troubles deal with the Irish problem. Siege of Krishnapur, obviously it is about the 1857 rising in India, and the Singapore Grip, we can understand it is about the Singapore problem. So all these novels presents the negative side of British colonialism and its gradual decline. Now another very important information, Troubles, which was the first novel of this series, it won Lost Man Booker Prize. Now what is Lost Man Booker Prize? He won it in 2010. What is Lost Man Booker? It is basically Booker Prize given to the writer of 1970s who were, because of some technical specificity, they were not included into the consideration of Booker Prize. Booker Prize की लिस्ट में उन लोगों को include नहीं किया गया था, and as to amend this error, they gave some writers this prize, and Troubles is one of those work which won Lost Man Booker Prize. The Seas of Krishnapur, it won the Booker Prize in 1973. Okay, moving forward to our next point, let's talk about another very heavyweight of postmodern literature, that is Anthony Burgess. Now, Anthony Burgess, or sometimes in some works he also writes is Joseph Cal. This itself is an important information. Anthony Burgess, he is also known as Joseph Cal. He is considered as a prominent postmodern novelist and music composer also. He has composed music to many, he has many composition to his name. His most outstanding, most controversial, most acclaimed work is The Clockwork Orange, and which became more popular after Stanley Kubrick, who is an acclaimed Hollywood movie director, he adapted it to a movie. Then it became highly popularized and talked about work, and it was about he used a kind of teen argot in this language, in this novel. Now, argot is a language which is a specific language which is invented, and he used elements from British and American slang, young slang, youth slang, Russian and other sources. The novel is basically a dystopian because it presents futile attempt of a society to rehabilitate a violent juvenile delinquent. जो प्रोटैगोनिस्ट है इस नॉवल के, ही इज़ ए डेलिंक्वेंट, वो एक तरह से मिसफिट है सोसाइटी में, क्रिमिनल उनका माइंडसेट है, एंड हाउ ही द सोसाइटी ट्राइज टू improve his character and miserably fails in it. It is all given in The Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. Okay, our next point is about Tom Stoppard. Tom Stoppard, friends, is a Czech-born British playwright and screenwriter. He is renowned for his verbal ingenuity in his plays. Now, his most talked about work is, though he is famous for many other works, but Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. This play made him a global celebrity. It is his most acclaimed play, and obviously these two are minor characters from Shakespeare's Hamlet, but he puts them onto the center stage and make a kind of absurdist play around them. Another important work is his trilogy, The Coast of Utopia. The Coast of Utopia, which includes Voyage, Shipwreck and Salvage. It explored the circle of 19th century Russian emigre intellectuals, their lives and their empty talks. Tom Stoppard is also known for writing screenplay for Shakespeare in Love, which won Academy Award, Oscars. So he is again a writer with great verbal ingenuity. Please go and search about him, read more about his works. Okay, let us move to some post-colonial writers. Jamaica Kincaid, her original name is Elaine Potter Richardson. She is a Caribbean American writer who excels in portrayal of her native place, and that native place is Antigua. She belongs to Antigua. She spent a lot of time of her life in Antigua, and her novels presents a very vivid picture of her home. At the Bottom of the River, this is the name of a collection of short stories and the autobiography of my mother. It is the novel which is quite popular of Jamaica Kincaid. Talk of the Town. This is the series of columns she wrote for The New Yorker, and then all these columns in which she wrote some provocative piece about how white race exploited the black ones. They all are presented in Talk Stories. She is also a nature lover, we can say a gardener at heart, and among flowers, a walk in the Himalaya. It is an account of a trip which she took in the foothills of Himalayas as an avid gardener. So she is quite, we can say, prolific writer and also exploring many fields. Okay, moving forward to our next writers, Timothy Moore. Now we move from west to our eastern territory, and Timothy is a critical acclaimed Anglo-Chinese author. Now, Anglo-Chinese author means that he presented this British imperialistic and British suppression of eastern territories, and his first novel The Monkey King. The Monkey King is about the trials and tribulation of Wallace Nolasco. Wallace Nolasco is son-in-law of patriarchal Mr. Poon, and the tensions between these two characters. How Nolasco is successful in getting the chairmanship of the companies which is originally owned by Mr. Poon, and how it basically creates a kind of tension between them, and the gradual decline of the whole empire, their business empire, that is beautifully and evocatively presented in this novel, The Monkey King. So Sweet, on the other hand, it deals with the problem of racism which is faced by a Chinese family when they open a restaurant in London, how they face racial remarks and what are the problems faced by them. Do you remember another important work in this regard is by Brick Lane? You should learn about who is the writer, and I hope you read about the novelist also. The name of the novel is Brick Lane. Go and find about it if you don't know. An insular possession, it vividly retells the founding of Hong Kong territory and how it becomes a basically example of neo-colonialism. It is presented in this particular work. Okay, moving forward, let's talk about an African writer, this Amos Tutuola. Amos Tutuola is the Nigerian writer, and he is termed as one of the greatest eccentrics in African literature. Now, he is author of 9 epic comical novels, and all of these are inspired from Yoruba folklore. Quite like Chinua Achebe, Amos Tutuola, he basically explores the Yoruba, his native folklores, and weaves beautifully these tales into his works. He is best known for his novel The Palm Wine Drinkard. The full name of the novel is The Palm Wine Drinkard and His Dad Palm Wine Tapester in the Dad's Town. So it's a quite a comical title, but it also tells us the tradition, folklorish tradition, which is found in the tribes of Nigeria. It was the first Nigerian book to achieve international fame. Now, Tutuola designed this book as we can say on the lines of The Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan. We can say an allegorical journey is presented about a lazy boy who likes to spend his days drinking palm wine, and how he gradually gains wisdom, confronts death, overcome many perils in the course of his real and allegorical journey. So it's a very fantastic read, and it is full of anecdotes and full of folklorish elements from Yoruba. Okay, another writer which you should know and which you should read He is very important writer, my friends. I'm talking about J.G. Ballard. He is born in China. He is an important writer of post-apocalyptic science fiction. Now, apocalyptic fiction, my friends, आप शायद जानते भी हो, वो fiction होता है which presents rather a bleak picture of the world, which presents the complete destruction or annihilation of this world. He wrote some highly controversial condensed novel. This is the term which he used. Actually, these were experimental stories and he called them condensed novels, and they were collected in highly controversial The Atrocity Exhibition. A very famous quotation I must share with you. In his most controversial novel, Crash. Now, this novel Crash, it was later adapted to a movie by David Cronenberg, and he observes, we live inside an enormous novel. The fiction is already there. The writer's task is to invent the reality. This paradoxical, almost we can say paradoxical statement informs us the mindset of J.G. Ballard. He is writer of many important postmodern and science works. Empire of the Sun, it is a semi-autobiographical account of a young British boy, because he himself was in China when Japan invaded there, and he his horrible experiences in Shanghai during Japanese occupation. The term Ballardian is now considered as basically indicating dystopian modernity, because most of his works presents human beings in a tattered and shattered state. Okay, Doris Lessing, another name. She is winner of Nobel Prize in 2007, and she is a renowned British Zimbabwean novelist. Rhodesia, it was the old name of Zimbabwe, and her published first book, The Grass is Singing. I hope you know the title is inspired from The Wasteland by T.S. Eliot. The Grass is Singing about a white farmer, his wife Mary Turner, and their African servant Moses in Rhodesia. Now the story tells how Moses kills Mary Turner, murders her, and the novel is like we can say retelling of this incident from Mary Turner's diary. This book made her famous overnight. There is also a series, Children of Violence. It is a sequence of 5 novels, and the central character is Martha Quest. Okay, this one is quite important information, my dear friends, who grows up in southern Africa and settles in England. What she witnesses and experiences, how the world changes, how post-colonial world is emerging. It is all presented. Another very popular work is The Golden Notebook, and this work is basically about a woman writer who attempts to come to terms with life of her times through her art. Art becomes the medium through which she presents her joy and her frustration, disappointments, exultation regarding the changes in the times, and it is one of the most widely read of her novels. Once again, Doris Lessing, my friends, is very important writer. Also, you should, if you find any time, please read about her. So my dear friends, wishing you a best of luck for your coming exams, and I know that time is not now much more. I would try to upload some more lesson before your exam, but if it not happens, please keep watching your own channel Lit eCity and give your feedbacks, give your reviews. How would you like to suggest to make the quality of these videos more better, so that we can enjoy our time together. Thank you, my friends.